Traditional banking and crypto right now both are not doing so hot, but what's the difference between the two, and what specifically makes crypto possibly a better option for the long-term future of humanity? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's video, dive into the downfalls and recent downfalls of banking, and then shine some light on why crypto is a good place to store some wealth if you maybe want to do that or not. I'm a guy in my mom's basement. Anyways, let's dive into it. Just before we do, if you want to join a free, 100% free newsletter to elevate your thinking twice a week on technology, investing, business, and more, you can do so by clicking the first link down in the description. Now, what we're talking about today is the banking crisis that has recently been being endured by all of the people who are living today in the more developed nations of the world. And this kind of reflects that liquidity and insolvency is very apparent in many banking systems and many banks. They've been having to be bailed out. Some banks have just went under, and even banks of Canada and other places are ready to step in if the global financial crisis, which is happening right now, spills over to the banks in Canada, which likely it has a very high chance of doing. And the big banks are coming to take charge and save everybody, essentially. But this is kind of interesting. We never thought we would see such a banking crisis after 2008 and all the things that happened there. It would never happen again. Everyone said, right? Banking is perfect, and the system which we put all our money into could never be flawed. Well, actually, there's a lot of flaws with it. The fact that you put your money in the bank and you can go and the next day not be able to take it out because you don't have it is a very real problem that a lot of people are facing, especially recently with their deposits in banks that have went under. And over the long term, this has major risks for the future of traditional banking right now and how viable it's going to be, how much trust people are going to put in it. On top of this, the recession risks to be reignited by the banking crisis. In my eyes, we're still in a recession. That's just me. Who's going to tell you if we're in one or not? Probably just yourself and how you feel about all of the things going on in the overall economy. And specifically to crypto, the U.S. Treasury official, or a U.S. Treasury official, says that crypto had no direct role in the bank failures, and that comes as no surprise to most people. But what does come as maybe a surprise to people who aren't in crypto already is that crypto is actually the alternative to banking. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, and whatever else, cryptocurrencies, the point of them initially is to make a better form of money. Bitcoin, the pioneer of cryptocurrencies, is a way for people to send money over the internet. A way to do this in a decentralized alternative payment system that would operate, again, decentralized, free from central control. No banks, no central banks. You don't have to worry if they're using your money to put in bonds and loans that have a set lockup period so they can't access the funds. They're simply just having a mechanism created by the people, for the people truly, to transfer money and transact value. It doesn't rely on this very, very unstable way of fractional reserve banking, and just basically your money's not there when you need it. Now, I'm not here today to tell you to go put your money in Cardano, to put your money in Ethereum, to put your money in Bitcoin. I'm just here to tell you that there is an alternative. It's being built for the last decade, and there is different ways you can transact value outside of traditional banking. Traditional banking, to me, is just not an optimal system. I do like a lot of the things about traditional banking, the fact that, hey, people don't need to take responsibility. It's a lot easier to access, and it gives people a sense that, hey, I don't have to worry about someone robbing me. I'm insured. There's good parts of it, but at the core part of traditional banking, we have the ability for you to not access your money after putting it in, even though it's your money. So it doesn't really feel like your money, and that is the gap that I want crypto to bridge. And also, someone could freeze your assets in your local bank if they think you're doing something they don't like, or the government wants to come down and crack down on you. They can just freeze your bank. That can't happen with crypto. There's no limits with crypto. And I know it sounds like a floating head talk in the internet in my mom's basement about this, idealistic point of view where crypto is a way to transact value. But right now, it is the alternative for having true control of your money. I know many people don't see it that way. That's the way I see it. And traditional banking, although all of us use it, I don't think will be around as prevalently or in the same manner of what it's operating under today for much longer. Just because of the way it's structured, having crisis after crisis in terms of liquidity, insolvency, even the biggest banks who are too big to fail could definitely fail under this model where they just don't have the money to give the people who are depositing money their money. There's tons and tons of money that's locked up, not accessible in these banks. And if a real majority of people want to take out the value and use it, they couldn't. Today's video is a PSA to say, hey, traditional banking has some good parts, but most of it is just based on debt contracts. And these debt contracts are not very good if people want to get their money at the same time. They can't, especially if it's a large portion or a large percentage of the money that the total banks owe their basically depositors. They can't. And that system to me seems just very bad overall as a structure. I do think that crypto has risks and a lot of risks. So if you're going to be in crypto, you probably need a harbor wallet. You need to know how scams operate, because if you lose your money in crypto, you're not getting it back. And you should be scared of that. But the benefits that crypto bring and opportunities may be a lot more than people think. Right now, it is a lot self-sovereignty. You have to do everything yourself. You have to be responsible. There's going to come a time where there's just use of crypto through these third parties that help you have access to crypto native tools that aren't traditional banks. They're just portals to these tools. These are the things that I'm looking forward to a lot. But in general, being able to interact with crypto now and know how to do it is a huge advantage for people who want to start taking control now, today, and not wait for tomorrow where all the banks are failing or something's going very glim. Anyways, I'm still going to be using a traditional bank for a lot of my business needs. It's just how it works. You can't hold everything in crypto because it's a very volatile asset, but the move towards and away from traditional banks, not only for me, but for all of the economy, is pretty apparent and probably forthcoming as we see this latest banking crisis. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will be talking about this and all things crypto investing and more in my newsletter. Got a good one this week coming out, so make sure you subscribe. First link down in the description. See you guys in tomorrow's video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace.